turned around and got another 9 hours last night. So, emotionally drained at the same time. Yesterday.
I will never get over the fact that intro was way too short. I need at least 20 seconds to get mentally prepared. But nonetheless, what up, everybody? It is your boy, the almighty Dycez-Man, a.k.a. the silent but elite, a.k.a. the Shang Tsung of this wrestling debate. You come for me, your soul is mine, a.k.a. the apprentice of Thanos. I wear it around my neck loudly and proudly, a.k.a. Yo mama's favorite daddy. And tonight we have the AEW Review Show, and I am here with my co-host for this evening, the Executive Consultant. How are you doing today, my guy?
Well, I can't say I'm doing too super fantastic because, I almost fell asleep. But I'm here. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay. Another show you almost fell asleep. I actually thought this was a decent show. Like I thought it was much better than last week's show. It was much better than the week before last. So I think they're making progress. I do think they're making a lot of progress, but it takes a lot to impress you, apparently, because even this show did not impress you. Was this better than NXT? At least
anything's better than NXT, except for Rampage. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I know this episode of Dynamite was far better than NXT.
Actually did enjoy NXT a lot this week as well. Maybe because I was more excited for the call-ups. I thought that a lot of the call-ups were warranted. Kaden Carter and Katana and Indy Hartwell. But this is not that show. We are on some other ish. And we are on AEW. So what we're going to talk about tonight is the show that they had pretty stacked card for the most part. But we start the night off rather with a 8-man tag match, which is, the 8-man tag. We have actually, hold up. Here we go. I'm sorry. I'm tripping right now. Bear with me because there we go. All right. The 8-man tag, we had Orange Cassidy, Adam Cole, Roger Strong, and Bandito versus Jericho Appreciation Society, in which this is actually Roderick Strong's AEW debut match. And for an 8-man tag, I thought that this is everything that you would want it to be. However, the story that surrounds it outside of the match told more than what the story inside of the match told. Frankly, because the Jericho Appreciation Society has very little to do with the beef between Adam Cole and Jericho. I thought that there should have been more from the JAS to actually make their presence known in this, but for the most part, I thought it was a good, solid way to start the match. It's a good debut for Roderick Strong. We haven't seen him in at least maybe 6 to 8 months from when he was kicked out of Diamond Mine in NXT. So I thought that this was a really, really good showing for him personally. Outside of everybody else, it was more of a showcase. But for him, it was more so of I still have it. There's not really any ring rust, and so I thought it was a good showing to start off the night for AEW, in which I thought it was a good solid night. Of course, you're going to disagree because you hate watching Dynamite right now for whatever reason. But your thoughts on the opening night for this 8-man tag?
It's good seeing Roderick Strong. I'm a fan of Roderick Strong, so it's good seeing Roderick Strong. Fan of Adam Cole. Fan of Roderick Strong, Adam Cole, and Orange Cassidy. You know why I paused between I said Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Orange Cassidy? Because I forgot they were in a match. I forgot everybody was in this match. I forgot this was a match. Roderick Strong came out there. He's like, yes, give me adulation. Now let me step in my role. They're playing cheerleader for Adam Cole. Adam Cole comes out. He does this little boom, boom, boom. Go in the ring. I felt like the Undisputed Era again. I was excited. Except for I'm missing 2 people. Don't worry, they'll be back soon. I know everybody's like, oh, but Fish he's in another. He'll be back. He'll be back sooner or later. They're going to form it. That's what Adam Cole wants. Just to keep him happy. The best part of this match was the end. And that's not me shitting on the match. But I like the spot where Adam Cole pinned some jabroni in the ring. I forgot his name. Because they were not in the match. And then rolled off of him like, he just busted his whatever. Rolled off of him, and then he went over and he started beating up one Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho kept saying, get him out of here, get him out of here. I thought it was funny. I thought it was well effective. I think Chris Jericho played his role very well throughout this entire match, from the beginning of his entrance to the commentary to him taking that ass over from Adam Cole. To him getting slapped later, which we'll talk about from Britt Baker. He played his role perfectly that night. Adam Cole played the boyfriend that has to be protective of his woman. I didn't hate the segment. I just thought everybody was playing second fiddle to the main 2 attractions, which was Adam Cole and Chris Jericho.
I definitely agree on that. That was my whole purpose of. I didn't understand why the JAS was there. I understand why Bandito and Orange Cassidy were there, because last week we got them post interview, and they definitely seemed like they were irritated with the way that the JAS was trying to throw around their power. And so I thought that was needed, but I knew it was way too predictable in that sense. So I mean, I understand why it was there, but I thought you could probably got somebody else as far as that goes to integrate in themselves, ingratiate. I'm sorry, gee, God, I can't even talk. Ingratiate themselves into that feud, other than those 2 guys who just got done feuding with each other. But very good match, very solid match, very strong match to start the night off for AEW, I thought, and which is fine if you disagree. But I did think that for them to start that off with probably one of the best feuds that they have going right now, I thought that was a good solid night to start for them in AEW. So we get the BCC talking after this. Actually, I want to point out that the Jericho Britt Baker black eye shirt, that thing was money. That thing was money. I love that shirt. Absolutely 100% love that shirt. But I also love what Britt Baker has been doing, and she is turning that thing into a gold mine. And now they are selling replicas of this shirt. So she's definitely making money off of the mishap that has to do with the JAS, which is this is what you want to do. You want to make money. So she's definitely turning a negative into a positive for herself. But I thought it was great merchandising for AEW. And who is this man on my screen? Who is this man?
Everybody who's a fan of UPR, everybody who's a fan of Z, everybody's a fan of Executive Consultant, I want you to pay attention to this man. I want you to know who this man is.
I don't even know who this man is.
This man's name is Ike Turner. And the reason I'm going to put that picture up here, because he seems like the man that will wear a shirt with a woman with a black eye.
I swear to bees, I'd never do in the history of my life what Ike Turner looked like. I just thought Ike Turner looked like Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah. You probably thought he looked like Lawrence Fishburne. No.
I look like Lawrence Fishburne.
No. Ike Turner looks like Ike Turner. Ike Turner looks like a guy who wore a shirt that has Britt Baker with a black eye, courtesy of him. So I'm letting you know I'm not a fan, because it reminded me of Ike Turner. What's love got to do?
Moving on, we had the BCC commented on their reign of terror so far in AEW which I think has been chef's kiss phenomenal. You got Regal out, but you bring Danielson back in as the mouthpiece. I 100% agreed with it. It was to under my assumption, me and Mr. Mike Knox, that once Danielson got off of injury, he was not going to be with everything that the BCC was doing, because that is not what the BCC was initially supposed to be doing when they formed. He completely swerved everybody. He changes, and now he digs deeper in his promo bag. Moxley tells you that there's going to be a different side of himself that he's going to unleash, and I am all for this 100%. And then we segue right into the next match, in which I'm not even going to lie to you, I turned my head on this match before it even begun. I just saw Willow Nightingale come out. I didn't even know what else was going on. I didn't even know who she was facing. I just came back from getting some French fries. I came back. There was somebody in the ring with a little bit of ass. I said, who the hell is this in the ring? I don't even know who she is. They said it's Saraya. I said, what? When did she get the yammies? I don't know. But I will say that this was a match that was, I thought it was really good. For Willow Nightingale, she's been a really solid performer for AEW. She's been really solid for them. I definitely think that she's a go-to person. She's a go-to performer for them. And of course, Saraya being a veteran, I think that she's willing to put other women over, which is fine. Not at the expense of them making them look stupid in the form of their group and getting spray painted NWO-esque. But the biggest part of this match was not even the match. It was the ending of the match. And we had Hikaru Shida. I'm sorry, because I don't want to slim her name down like they did, but Hikaru Shida came down, in which we thought that she was going to join the Social Outcasts, performs the swerve, and then performs the double swerve when we see Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter, and then proceeds to help with the beatdown of the Social Outcast. I thought it was great. I'm giving that segment a B+. It had me entertained 100%. Saraya still has a lot to give to this business. I know a lot of people don't like her. I don't understand why. The woman's been wrestling since she was 13. Nice little tapey tape that she had. Disrespected the Divas title a little bit, but hey, we're not on that right now. But she still got a lot to give to this business, being only like 31, 32 years old. So, your thoughts on Saraya versus Willow Nightingale?
I gotta tell you, I'm a fan of Paige. I like Paige. I think Paige is good. I like Tony Storm. Big fan of Tony Storm. Think Tony Storm is good.
Oh, God.
I'm a fan of Ruby Riott. I like Ruby Riott. Think Ruby Riott's good. I'm a fan of the Outcasts. They come out there.
I hear a butt.
No.
I hear a butt coming.
There's no buts. I love the Outcasts. They come out, right? And then, and they play the air guitar and, throwing up stuff, and I'm like, great, they got this great thing out. Sheeta, as my boy Big Daddy Cool always says, nobody gives a Sheeta but Sheeta came out with the stick, hugs him, about to get the spray paint out. I'm like, damn, copy my homework, why don't you? Go ahead and copy that homework, Outcast. Go ahead and copy the homework, outsiders. I'm with you. For life, I'm with you. I'm like, this could work. 3 people that used to be in WWE, who act like they're disgruntled, come over and they want to take over. But no, everybody that's homegrown wants to go ahead and fight them. I think it's a storyline that could work. I like the storyline. But at the same time, here's the but. Copy my homework. Let's add a little thing different except for the fact of the women. That's the only thing I'm asking. Besides that, it could work. You got 3 good women for it. I mean, granted, no offense to Ruby Riott and Toni Storm, because I'm a fan. They're not Hall and Nash, but this is the best you got at the time. Go for it. But if you are going to go this route, I will also say, if you are so happen and so lucky to get one Mercedes Moné, better yet known as Sasha Banks, she needs to join the Outcast. That is going to set this storyline and this division into the upper atmosphere where you need it to be. If you get Sasha Banks, if you have Sasha Banks, she needs to join the Outcast. That's my take.
Okay, I forgot to mention this, but Bryan Danielson in his promo, he claimed to be better than Bret Hart. And I just happened to look on Twitter after he said this. And a lot of people are furious at what he said. But I think that he has a sense of validity. I would entertain that argument. Your thoughts on him being better than Bret Hart, or saying that he's better than Bret Hart?
Bret Hart is the most overrated GOAT I've ever seen in my life. Now, I gave him GOAT status. I gave him GOAT status. All right. He is one of the greatest of all time. Give him that. He did amazing work in his time. Great wrestler. Great wrestler. Right? And I think his run as a Canadian hero, but American anti-hero or villain was very, very well done. But realistically speaking, he was not that interesting. Really wasn't. Right? He's not that charismatic. And I'm sorry, with wrestling, I'll say it all the time, you can have people really good in the ring, but you need some kind of charisma. You don't have to necessarily be mic skills. I say the greatest woman wrestler of all the times is Asuka. Asuka can't talk on the mic.
Watching right now.
Asuka can't talk on the microphone, but her charisma, along with her in-ring skills, make her a GOAT to me. Bret Hart's in-ring skills make him a GOAT. Not the worst on the mic, but not interesting whatsoever to me. Therefore, Daniel Bryan can go on the mic. He's on the mic. So John Moxley considers himself one of the greatest of all time on the mic. Why? That's what he does, right? But he always will take a back seat to Daniel Bryan on the mic. There's a reason for that. Not to mention, Daniel Bryan is entertaining in the ring. People still talk about Fickle.
The new Daniel Bryan was great.
Yeah, the new Daniel Bryan was good. WrestleMania, Kofi Mania, Daniel Bryan, that was great. People talk about low key. They talk about Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, but that's probably because Shawn Michaels is the ring. All I'm saying is Bret Hart is a little overrated. I agree with Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to call him. Any iteration, I agree with them. Good to you. Interested in seeing this match between Moxley and Kenny Omega next week in the steel cage. I think it's going to be really good. But I'm a big fan of BCC. My problem with BCC is Daniel Bryan, John Moxley. You can see there the 2 figureheads, but it's 4 members. So you have your 2 figureheads, and one of them happens to be a world champion. Got a problem.
I don't know if you saw the comment, but Charmaine actually knows Willow Nightingale. You know that Charmaine knows a lot of people in the industry. Just saying. And she says that she's a good wrestler, but she doesn't like Saraya.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like Willow Nightingale is. It's not like Paige is better than Willow Nightingale. But I you know what? Charmaine does know Willow Nightingale. She used to wrestle in New York City. So I think Charmaine was sitting in the front row, and Willow Nightingale went by and gave her a high five. Now she knows her. But Charmaine, I'm guessing Mike walked off because he didn't like the Bret Hart comment. But as I said on Monday on your show, greats can be surpassed. Records can be broken. It is okay. Let it go. It's okay. Frozen. My son loves to watch Frozen. He loves Elsa. Let it go. Just let it go. Bret Hart has been surpassed. The only thing I want to let go is your singing.
It's cool. I didn't say that it was great. I had Chinese food in my mouth, but it's all right. All right.
It's about as
moving
great
on.
as a Bret Hart match.
Moving on, we had a trios battle royal match. Oh, my finger slipped. My bad. And the teams in this were just, oh god, all over the place. So the House of Black issued a open challenge to any trio, and the teams that we got were the Dark Order, in which I don't know how many iterations we're going to get of them. John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and Evil Uno, the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass, Powerhouse Hobbs, QT Marshall, and Aaron Solo. I've never even seen Aaron Solo in a ring, which was very questionable because I thought that they had somebody else more notable for under QT Marshall, so I was a little bit disappointed with that team. The Butcher Blade and Kip Sabian, I thought it was a really good team. Lucha Brothers and El Hijo del Vikino, aka Vikino, in which I didn't. Where the hell is Pac? And then the Varsity Athletes and Josh Woods, Tony Nese, and Ari Daivari, which isn't a bad team either. So outside of the team of Powerhouse with QT Marshall and Aaron Solo and the Dark Order, this is a really good showing of trios teams. For me, I thought the action was really good. Action was really good, but looking at this on paper, you automatically know that this is built for the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. They need something else. They're a top merchandise seller. They are a top tag team. They're a top attraction when you speak about AEW. And to look at anything else, to look at any of these other teams and think that they could win it, I didn't see it at all. Now, if House of Black wasn't the champions and then they were put in this match, I would say, okay, it would be between those two guys, those two teams. However, this was a little bit predictable for me. However, I still did enjoy it because it's not that often that we get so much trios action at the same time. And that I thought that it was fine. Who I thought was going to win did win, and they won in a very entertaining fashion. I would give this match a C+, B- borderline. But for me, I thought it was pretty good for what they were trying to sell to us, what they were trying to give to us. I know they were trying to fit a lot of talent in a little bit of time. It's hard to get, 20 people in a match for 10 minutes, if that. But I do think that it was a good showing to kind of keep the Acclaim strong. And still make Powerhouse look like he's a threat, but now you kind of put him to the back door because he lost his title. Now he's in a trios battle royal. I didn't agree with that, but for a lot of the other teams like the Butcher and the Blade and Kip Sabian, I do like those guys a lot. I thought that was good for them. Your thoughts if you didn't fall asleep on this match?
I did. Trios match. It's a trios match. I'm not a fan of trios matches like that, but I understand why they did it. They have all these factions. They have all these teams. You need something for them to do. The problem with this is, if you can't tell me by looking at this who's going to win this, then you have an issue, right? They gave you the spoiler alert. Here's the spoiler alert. The Acclaim comes out last. Acclaim comes out with fanfare. Nobody else really came out like that, right? Not only that, they made sure they highlighted the fact that since it became a trio, they never lost. Who are the whatever they call themselves, the House of Black going to defend the titles against? It has to be them. It's the logical choice. The Acclaim not going back after the tag team titles. They want to hold that for the revival. They need to do something with the Acclaim. They're much too popular. I hate this Surgery shit, but they're much too popular. It'll be entertaining to say the least. Much better than this match. But we had to do something to get us there. That's what this was for. It did its job. Was I entertained? No. Did I fall asleep? Yes. But it's going to lead to a bigger story and a better program. I'm here for it.
I mean, when is Double or Nothing?
May 28th or something like that.
Okay, so we got about 2.5, 3 weeks to build something. We got 2.5 broadcasts from AEW to make this feel like it's something that I should be more intrigued and interested in. For the talent, yes, I'm intrigued for the talent, but for the story, I need something more for the story, which is fine. We still have a little bit of time, but if you can jam pack that, that would be great. But action alone, the action itself, I'm all for it. So I am intrigued to see what happens next. Going on to the next match, we got something that I was looking forward to in a sense, but the way that it's been handled, I have not agreed with it at all. Ricky Starks and Juice Robinson, everything has just been really wonky with this. I think the talent is way too good to be handled in this manner. Just for the simple fact that we're supposed to get Ricky versus Juice, and then we get Switchblade comes out. Well, going back to the beginning, Juice just randomly attacks Ricky for no reason. His reasoning didn't even make any sense. And then we get Switchblade that does the same exact thing. His reasoning still doesn't make sense. It's like you're just picking on the guy, the golden guy of AEW. And but I thought this match was really good. For them to try to make a story out of it. I didn't disagree with it. It came off a lot better than what I had anticipated as far as as far as what the story had presented to me initially, which was fine, which was great. And you know what? I'm so sorry. I completely forgot, and I went ape shit over this. Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Singh were in my home state of Delaware, which is crazy. They were in Laurel, Delaware, which is literally like 10 minutes away from me. And I did not even touch on this, which was, I obviously it was pre-taped, but it was pretty dope to see drone shots of Delaware and it being on national television and not be the news saying that Delaware is one of the worst places to live. So I thought that was pretty dope. And they wanted those guys wanted, they're trying to get an allegiance to battle FTR for the World Tag Team Championship, and they're trying to get advice from Mark Briscoe. I thought that was pretty dope. So shout out to all of those gentlemen. But back to the Juice Robinson and Ricky Starks match. I thought it was great. Well, not great. I thought it was very good. I'm going to give it a B+. For me, it's probably I would say it's the match of the night for me. I just didn't like the ending of it. I thought the finish of it was it felt a little flat for the chemistry that I thought that they had in the ring together. But all in all, I am cool with this. Ricky Starks gets a W. Juice Robinson and Switchblade Jay White, they'll probably get their revenge at the pay-per-view. And if that is Switchblade's first pay-per-view, I don't think that he's going to take a loss. Probably jumping the gun a little bit, but if that's what's going to happen, I definitely would not like it to happen because Ricky Starks has taken too many L's from new debuting opponents within the past 6 months. Your thoughts on Starks versus Robinson?
I tell you what, I first discovered Juice Robinson when he was CJ Parker in NXT. I think
who was actually with Tony Storm right now.
I thought he was trashed then he left. He went to New Japan and some other promotions, and I kept hearing all about this guy named Juice Robinson and how he was so good. And I was like, who the hell is this? And they said, hey, it's CJ Parker. I was like, damn, he must be the shit because I keep hearing all this stuff about him. Then I see him come to AEW because I haven't seen him since. And I look at him, and all I see is this guy. I don't see it. I like Ricky Starks, but I don't see it. Not entertaining. No, actually, no. Entertaining. Ring skills are good. But him as a person, he needs to gain some weight. He's too small. I say it every week. I can't respect you as a main eventer if you're that small. Some more muscle will not hurt him. He has the tools. He's good at ring. He's good at microphone. He has the tools. Can't take him seriously. I've taken shits during AEW dark matches that are bigger than Ricky Stark.
What?
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You actually watched the AEW dark match. Yeah.
Oh my god. That is funny because I did think about that. Because I don't even try to tune in the dark matches. In which I think was it dark or elevation? What did they got canceled? They got quietly canceled.
They when they don't record them at Dynamite, they record it at Universal Studios here in Orlando. And for the first few episodes, because you can go free, I think. Was it free or they pay and I just got a ticket? Anyway, I went 3 hours during the morning and then 3 hours in the afternoon. They take like 4 weeks worth of episodes. And then after the third one, I said, much like Vince McMahon when Bronson Reed came back, enough is enough. I can't do it no more. So I stopped going. Can't do it. And fun fact, that's when I actually saw Aaron Solo. Because he wrestles all the time in dark.
The only Aaron that I even acknowledge on the wrestling scene is Stevens, and we all know him as Damian Sandow. So I'd never heard of Aaron Solo. Moving on to the final match of the night, in which, and now that I think about it, AEW was filled with more segments than matches, which is fine. It makes this show even easier to do because we don't have to keep continually going into it. We got the Four Pillars tag match. This is hard for me personally to unbiasedly critique this because I've stated for the past 2 weeks that I am so tired of this story. Don't like it. Execute it okay-ish, but the foundation of the story does not make me say I want to tune in to see these four guys battle for that belt. It just doesn't, and I like all four of these guys. However, I just don't like the story that is being told with all four of these gentlemen. Like all of them. Maybe Jack Perry at the bottom totem pole, but I like all four of them. Is the initial thought of this match was supposed to be this match in the first place. They tried to swerve it and throw it into like this whole little tournament thing. Cool. But we all know what the fans want to see, and the fans want to see the four pillars. So why would you tease straying away from that, knowing that you're going to go back to it anyway? At this point, I don't think that AEW could afford to stray away from it, especially not the way that they took it. But I wasn't unhappy with it. It just didn't live up to what I thought it would be being presented to me. Which is still, again, I got to look at it from a different perspective. So it's okay. I got to shift my focus on what this is going to be or what they're presenting to me. Fine. I just don't like how MJF always has to align himself with his opponent before he decides that he's going to turn on them, i.e. Wardlow, i.e. Jericho. Like, I don't need that from MJF. We know what he's going to do. He's a heel already. You don't need to keep establishing that MJF is a heel. But for everybody else, I think that this match, this storyline should work for all of them. And I thought that this match did more for all three of the other competitors than it did for all four of them in the whole sense of the storyline in the past month. Which, I mean, you got 2.5 weeks before the pay-per-view, which is fine. I think this is a great spot. If you're AEW, this is a great spot that you want to be in. The match ends with Darby Allin and Jack Perry actually getting their victory. So they are I don't know if they announced they're going to be in the actual match. Let me double check that. I don't think so. No, they did not. But I think that this makes a very strong case, which we have the next 2.5 weeks to make that case. So I think if you're Tony Khan, AEW, this is right where you want to be. For in my opinion, lackluster story that's kind of taking a small swerve, but now getting back into the meat and taters of what you want the 4-pillar story to be. I think this is right where you need to be. For me, the execution of this gets an A+. The story gets more of a C, but the execution of it gets an A+ for me. Your thoughts?
I said it a couple of weeks ago. I'm a big fan of MJF. He's one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW. Been a fan of him since MLW. I respect what Sammy Guevara does in the ring. Darby Allin, somebody who's grown on me. Jack Perry, not there yet, but I see the appeal. They're going to Double or Nothing, which is arguably their biggest pay-per-view. You never know what AEW. They have like so little pay-per-views and they all act like they're all big, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You should. It's in Las Vegas. Big fight, Phil, Las Vegas. I'm going down. I might go. It's my birthday. I might go. Then I look at this match, and let me put a graphic up because I want to examine each competitor in this match. There it is. All right. So when I'm thinking Double or Nothing main event, and I'm looking at these 4 pillars right here, and I'm looking. Because this is what I see. I see Darby Allin over there on the left, right? Looking confused. Like, hold on, am I popular? Am I heel or my face? I don't know. No one knows. Where's Sting? He's looking. That's why he's wearing the glasses. He's looking for him, right? And then I'm looking at Sammy Guevara, who's looking lost because he doesn't have Chris Jericho. He's saying, hey, am I still part of JAS? I don't know. What's going on? Am I going to be a main eventer? Where's Ty? I don't know. I usually have somebody next to me. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. Then you have MJF looking like, hey, I'm the champ, right? I'm a heel. I'm still a heel. Y'all know I'm a heel. Let me say heelish things and do heelish things so you know I'm a heel. And then you have over there Jungle Boy Jack Perry. 4 great things. I love this show. 4 great things. Great people. Great athletes. But can I take them seriously as a main event? No. And I use the Smurfs. Because the Smurfs was a great show. Everybody enjoyed. Came out in the 80s, right? Loved it.
I would take the Snorks over the Smurfs, but go ahead.
But you like the Smurfs. But when you talk about the great cartoons of the 80s or 90s, you talk about Transformers, you talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you talk about Batman, you talk about G.I. Joe. You talk about shows like that. There's a reason for that, because Smurfs weren't supposed to be that show. They're supposed to be entertaining. They're supposed to put you watch and have good feelings before somebody gives drugs to the local teenagers. And Captain Planet has to make the power yours. This is not a main event for pay-per-view for me. Like the athletes, respect the hell out of all of them. Some of them grown on me and I couldn't stand them at first. But this is not a main event for a pay-per-view. I'm not buying tickets to Double or Nothing for this match. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the competitors because I'm a fan. But that's just my thoughts. You're not that guy.
No.
I see no
overall, I'm looking back at this night of AEW Dynamite, and I would say you had some really good bright spots. For me, I thought the Outcast was probably the swerve of the night for me. It was the most entertaining for me because I got excited when I thought Sheeta perfectly. Cole versus Jericho is on the horizon. I could have done without the 8-man tag, but I'm very interested in seeing what happens between those two after the fact that Cole decided to hunt Jericho down. Elite versus BCC, we still need a little bit more meat on that bone. Pause. I don't know if that's a pause moment, but I felt like it is because I feel like somebody would try to pick it apart and say it's, you know, a little bit zesty. So, but I didn't even talk about what I thought. I've been tuning in to AEW for the past 3-4 weeks is Wardlow talking to Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. I'm sorry how I missed that. It's because Wardlow had another squash match. He's well established and he's still getting squash matches. Why? AEW, scrap it. I don't like it. If you don't like it, it's whatever. We know what we want. It's Luchasaurus versus Wardlow. And if Wardlow has not been spoon-fed to us, I don't know how you can say that he has not been, because he definitely is. But I am more intrigued in Luchasaurus and Christian Cage and what they have to say every single week and not even do a single thing in the ring more than what you're showing me with Wardlow. I need that to change with AEW. Other than that, I am cool with this feud. I thought overall the night was good. I'm going to give it a B-. More than an average show. Kept me intrigued. Didn't have too much bad things to say about it, in which I don't even think they're bad things. I think they were nitpicking more than anything. So for me, kept me entertained. Way more than NXT, way more than WWE Raw on Monday. So for me, B-. Your thoughts, your grade on this night of AEW Dynamite?
I give it a C. It wasn't bad, you know. All jokes aside, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't entertaining. It wasn't memorable to me. It actually seemed like, and I hate saying this word, but it seemed like a filler. Just something to throw in there as they prepare for Double or Nothing, which the Dynamite or Raw or SmackDown or whatever it's supposed to be, but you still should have something entertaining. I think you could have missed it, and you really wouldn't have missed much in this episode. So for that, it gets a C, which is average.
All right, there he is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our time. Quick, easy, in a hurry, bing, bang, boom, out. That's how we do it. Very easy night of AEW.
Call these nights
Review Show. Well, like they say on ATL, a quick pumper. Anyway, for the executive consultant, I am the Z is silent, but elite. In the words of Shannon Sharp, if somebody, I like fried chicken. I like chocolate. But if I got the fried chicken, what the I need a chocolate for? And if somebody tell you they don't like you, tell them you don't give a good dog damn about it, and the almighty Dycez-Man told you about it. You know what I'm saying? We will catch you ladies. We'll catch you later. Not ladies. Later. Well, ladies, yeah, but later. We'll catch y'all later next week. 10-10. Be there. Be square. Holla. Play my commercial? Where's my commercial?
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing.